Alrighty, let's continue where we left off in the last video. So we'll continue with the Advanced MIDI Controllers, touchscreen and iPad in music production with Ableton Live. Alright. Then of course when it comes to scales, this one of course supports the scales so that you can now select the scale that you want to work with, and of course there is currently the scale that my project is in. And then of course you can have different type of you can have a different type of pad installations, in a sense that, you know, this is kind of a melodic sequencer. Then you have a sequencer with 32 notes. Then you have of course the full 64 notes. Then if you have a drum set, then you have the drum kit represented here as well. And then of course when you have an layout, like different layouts, so you can then also you know, see all these aspects, and so then you have different repeat options and so on and so forth. So let's not dive into push too much, because it has very good courses regarding on how to use push with Ableton Live and how to get professional with push. Just to the kind of demo that, you know, this exists, and this is a very handy tool to be used with Ableton Live, of course, to create stuff, and something that I use for jamming quite a lot. Then additionally, if we look into the one that I have here, which is basically the Monogram control device, it basically comes with its own software that you can control the device itself, and so you can basically define that and create different profiles. So you have I have created one for Vienna, and then I have one for Abbey Road 1 from Spitfire. Then I have a generic MIDI controller. Then of course this extends if you want to bring in, for example, if you want to bring in knobs and kind of rotation controls, you can bring them in, so it can be extended, and then all this can be programmed into it. The programming is very easy. You basically just click on it, and you then have different modes to do it, and say what is the action, or what is the MIDI event that will take place when you are, for example, moving the slider. So it's for example, in this case it is CC19. So in order to demonstrate that, basically from an instrument point of view, we should actually bring in some instrument that it is mapped with. For example, Abbey Road. Let's take Abbey Road for example, horns into it. I don't need the extension. I just want to show that how it works with these ones. So now when I play, I can easily then of course bring in expression, and so that's one way to do it. Of course you don't hear it now. Let's and that is kind of handy when you play, to kind of provide this type of control specifically, for example, for dynamics and expression. So this is one of the devices that can be quite handy when playing things in and dealing with expression and, for example, reverb or something else, because this can be mapped to anything. Then of course I had mapped certain keys to change the kind of the style, so from a long to marcato, for example, and so on and so forth. So all that can be of course programmed with this editor. So yeah, that's one part of the devices that can be utilized to control your play and MIDI and dynamics and so on and so forth. Then of course, if you have a MIDI keyboard that has a mod wheel and so you could use those also to do that. So there are many ways to do things, but then also sometimes these type of controls can help you and can be dedicated with your plugins, and then you know it can be a bonus in your workflow. So yeah, but that's just an idea for you to kind of consider that, okay, these type of devices also exist and could be used in a music production. And then yeah, we looked on push, we looked on the monogram and or monogram is the right way. I will anyway put the link into the description of this video, so you will catch it up. And then additionally, yeah, if we go into the master channel and look, I have there, like for example, I have there now like the VU meter here. So this is actually pretty handy plugin, and I can replicate what I see here into my iPad, as you can see. So I could also bring different type of views here that are that can be used and are displayed into the iPad. So I don't need to look into iPad in that respect in order to realize that and to see the metering, and I don't need to have this plugin open. So I will save some landscape. And my go-to for in the beginning of the channel is that I use Decibel VU meter to see that, you know, what is the signal that is coming into the master bus or main channel. Yeah, okay. Let's move on. Okay, let's continue and look now on the kind of MPE devices and how they can be used with Ableton Live. One sample of the MPE device is Roly LUMI, that is kind of, and where the MPE comes from is MIDI Polyphonic expression. So you can basically with single press and like with vibrato, it will send more information regarding on that into the digital audio workstation and in the plugin or any synthesizer that supports that. So for example, this is now also sending the pitch bend into my digital audio workstation, so I can press the note, and when I'm you know leaning the key, it will actually send the pitch bend the way that I'm bending it from right to left. And there are more of these MPE type of MIDI devices, so you can check them out. They are pretty neat in a sense that they give you even more expression when playing. So it actually becomes even more humanizable or even humanized, because if you play and use these type of devices, you can then, you know, bring a lot more expression into the play. Okie dokie. Let's move on. Okay, let's continue and look into StreamDeck and UF8. So StreamDeck is also a controller that you can do key commands, shortcuts, macros, also send MIDI commands, but those are like extensions to the StreamDeck, so that you need to download them in order to be able to utilize, for example, MIDI or whatever your needs are. I mainly use it for keyboard shortcuts and to launch programs or to do things within a program, and it's very easy to be configured. So for example, if I now would like to add a hotkey here and I want to assign that into tab, I'm pretty much done. And when I now go into here and I press tab, it will change my view from session to arrangement view. So to configure it, it's very straightforward. It can have also menus, so you can go from a button to another page where you have more functions. So you can build it to be quite extensive. And then of course you can easily do things like, for example now if I'm here, I have programmed certain button, for example, to create a MIDI clip for me. So add clip, it will add me a clip. It could rename the clip, and then also if I'm in a session, I can create a loop instantly. So things that you quite often need and you don't want to kind of have all your hands like with the keyboard shortcuts, so and maybe not remember them. Specifically if you go from a digital audio workstation to a workstation, then this is a good way to remember the keyboard shortcuts in different digital audio workstations. Anyway, that's a StreamDeck, and I like it. It's a simple, straightforward thingy that gets your things done. And for example, if I close a folder or I open a folder, I can basically then, you know, do it like this, and so yeah, so it's very versatile, very nice to use, and quick. Alrighty, let's pause the video over here and continue next Tuesday. Remember to subscribe for the channel. See you next Tuesday. Thanks for watching. Bye.